other mode of nutrition in plants. When you look around you, you see many plants and all of them are green in color. Do you think that all the plants are green in color? No, there are some plants which are not green in color. If they are not green in color, how do they produce food? How do they prepare food? Because as you know, the green color is due to the presence of a pigment that is called as chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll traps the sunlight and helps the plant to prepare food. So if the plants are not green in color, that means they do not have chlorophyll, then how can they prepare food? So you see, these plants, just like animals, depend on other plants or animals for their food. That is, they have a heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and the plants are called as heterotrophic plants. Now let us see the different types of heterotrophic plants. First is parasitic plants. The parasitic plant will attach itself to another living plant and obtain nutrients from it. The parasitic plant will attach itself to another living plant, and that living plant is called a host, and it will obtain nutrients from it. As a result of this, the host will become very weak. Because the parasite is absorbing all the nutrients, the host will become weak. Next comes saprophytic plants. The saprophytic plants will obtain nutrients from dead and decaying plant or animal matter. Saprophytic plant will obtain nutrients from dead or decaying plant and animal matter. Next is insectivorous plants. The insectivorous plants will trap insects and obtain nutrients from them. The insectivorous plants will be trapping the insects and obtaining nutrients from them. The last one is symbiotic plants. Here two plants are living together and both of them are benefited. That is, they have a give and take relationship where both of them are benefited. Unlike parasitic plants, as you know, in parasitic plants what happens? The parasite will be benefited. It will get all the nutrients while the host will become very weak. But in symbiosis, what happens is both the plants are benefited. So now let us study about each of these type of plants in detail. Parasitic plants. Now some plants, the parasites will attach themselves to another living plant, the host, and obtain nutrients from it. They will suck food or nutrients from the host plant. The host plant is not benefited. Actually, it becomes weak because the parasite is sucking all its nutrients. Some examples are Loranthus and Cuscuta. Now Loranthus, in Malayalam it is commonly called as Ithil. Ithil എന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ട് കാണും. യൂഷ്വലി ഇൻ മാംഗോ ട്രീസ് യു ക്യാൻ സീ ദിസ് ലൊറാന്തസ. ഇത്തിൽ ചെടി മാവിലാണ് നമ്മൾ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ കാണുന്നത്. ഇതുപോലെ അള്ളി പിടിച്ചങ്ങ് ഇത്തിൽ ചെടി മാവിലിരിക്കുന്നത് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ടു കാണാം എന്തായാലും. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ ചുമന്ന് പോവെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങൾ മാവിൽ കണ്ടു കാണാം ഇത്തിൽ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് വിൽ ഇറ്റ് ഡു? ദിസ് ഇത്തിൽ, Loranthus, it will be sucking nutrients from the mango tree so that the mango tree will become weak. അത് ഹോസ്റ്റിൽ നിന്ന് എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി സക്കിംഗ് ന്യൂട്രിയൻസ്. നൗ അനദർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഇസ് ദ Cuscuta plant. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ വൈൻ ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി സീൻ, യൂഷ്വലി യു മൈറ്റ് ഹാവ് സീൻ ഇറ്റ് ഓൺ ദ റോഡ് സൈഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് ഓൾ. ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ചെടിയുടെ മുകളിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ ഈ വള്ളി മാത്രം കാണാൻ പറ്റും, മഞ്ഞ കളറിലുള്ള വള്ളി മാത്രമായിട്ട് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഓൾസോ എ പാരസൈറ്റിക് പ്ലാന്റ്. Parasitic plants. So as I already told you, this is the parasitic plant that is called as Cuscuta, and this is Loranthus. And what did I tell you about parasites? The parasites will absorb nutrition from the host plant. And here you can see the vines of the Cuscuta plant. Cuscuta plantinte valli ningalku കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട് അല്ലേ? ഇതാണ് അതിൻ്റെ വള്ളി. And here you can see the leaves of the Loranthus. Loranthusinte ലീഫും കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട്. So what is the color of the Cuscuta plant? Cuscutയുടെ വള്ളിയുടെ കളർ എന്തോന്നാണ്? മഞ്ഞ കളർ. So it doesn't have any chlorophyll and it cannot prepare food on its own. അല്ലേ? അതിന് ക്ലോറോഫിൽ ഇല്ല, അതുകൊണ്ട് അതിന് ഫുഡ് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. So what does it do? It attaches itself to a host plant ആൻഡ് അബ്സോർബ്സ് ന്യൂട്രിയൻസ് ഫ്രം ഇറ്റ് അല്ലേ? ഒരു ചെടിയുടെ അറ്റാച്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിൽ നിന്ന് ന്യൂട്രീഷനൊക്കെ എടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ഈ സൈഡിൽ കാണുന്ന ഈ ഇത്തിൽ ചെടിക്കോ അതിന് പച്ച കളറുണ്ട്. ഇറ്റ് ഹാസ് ക്ലോറോഫിൽ. പിന്നെ ഹൗ ഇസ് ഇറ്റ് എ പാരസൈറ്റ്? ദ തിങ് ഈസ് ദ കസ്ക്യൂട്ട പ്ലാന്റ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ടോട്ടൽ പാരസൈറ്റ്. മുഴുവനായിട്ടും അത് ഹോസ്റ്റിനെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നു അതിൻ്റെ ഭക്ഷണത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. വൈൽ ദ ലൊറാന്തസ, ദാ ഈ കാണുന്ന ഈ ഇത്തൽ ചെടി, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ പാർഷ്യൽ പാരസൈറ്റ്. ഇറ്റ് വിൽ അബ്സോർബ് ഓൺലി വാട്ടർ ആൻഡ് മിനറൽസ് ഫ്രം ദ ഹോസ്റ്റ് പ്ലാന്റ്. അതായത് ഹോസ്റ്റിൽ നിന്ന് അത് വെള്ളവും മിനറൽസും മാത്രമേ എടുക്കുന്നുള്ളൂ, ഭക്ഷണം എടുക്കുന്നില്ല. ഭക്ഷണം അത് തന്നെത്താൻ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്തോളും, അതെടുക്കുന്ന വെള്ളത്തിൽ നിന്നും. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ ഡിഫറൻസ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദ ലൊറാന്തസ് ആൻഡ് ദ കസ്ക്യൂട്ട പ്ലാന്റ്. Saprotrophic mode of nutrition. The organisms that show saprotrophic mode of nutrition are called as saprotrophs. So have you seen any plant which shows saprotrophic mode of nutrition? You are saying no? Then let me show you some pictures. Have you seen a stale piece of bread looking like this? 2 or 3 day old bread will be looking like this. This is bread mold, right? And after a rain, you can see these popping out of the ground, right? You can see them in the garden. Now these organisms are mushroom and mold. They are called as fungi. Now they have a different mode of nutrition. They absorb the nutrients from the dead and decaying matter, and they are called as saprotrophic nutrition. They have a mode of nutrition called as saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Now these fungi, they also grow on pickles, leather and other such items that are lying around in your house. Now after a rain you can usually see them. Do you know why? Because the fungal spores, they are present in the air, and when they fall down on some place where it is warm and wet, they grow, they germinate and they grow. So you can see them usually after a rain. Insectivorous plants. What are insectivorous plants? Now there are few plants which can trap insects, and they trap the insect and absorb the nutrients that are present in the insects. Now these plants, they may be green in color or they may have some other color. Now look at this pitcher plant. Now this is a pitcher plant. You can see that the pitcher plant, it is green in color also, and this is the pitcher. So this plant, since it is green in color, it can prepare its own food. Then why is it trapping and capturing poor insects? Because the soil in which the pitcher plant is growing is deficient in nutrients. It has very little nutrients, especially nitrogen. So in order to obtain nitrogen, the pitcher plant will capture and obtain nitrogen and other nutrients from the insects. Now you can see that the pitcher plant has a jug-like structure or a pitcher-like structure, and this pitcher, as you can see, it has a lid. Now this lid is the modified part of a leaf. This whole pitcher is actually a modified part of the leaf, and this is the tip of the leaf that is modified into the lid. I'll show you another picture. Now see here, this whole pitcher is actually a modified leaf. Now this is the lid, and this is formed by the tip of the leaf or the apex of the leaf. Now this will actually open and close. When an insect comes and falls inside, it will close the pitcher. Okay. Now let us see the next picture. In the next photo you can see, this is the lid. Now inside the pitcher, what happens is there are many hairs which are directed downwards. So when an insect lands in the pitcher, what will happen? The lid will close and the insect will be trapped inside. and it won't be able to climb outside because of the presence of these downward facing hairs. So it will fall down. So here there are many digestive juices. The digestive juices are secreted by the plant, and the insect will fall into these digestive juices and it will be digested and the nutrients are absorbed. So such plants that are eating insects, they are called as insectivorous plants. And why are they trapping the insect? Because the soil in which they are growing is deficient in nutrients. Symbiosis. Some organisms live together and they share both shelter and nutrients. This type of relationship is called as symbiosis. Now, this is a lichen. In organisms like lichens, there is a chlorophyll containing partner which is an algae. Now the algae, since it has chlorophyll, it can synthesize its own food, and the algae will be living with a fungus. Now the fungus will be providing shelter, water and minerals to the algae, and the algae will prepare and provide food to the fungus. Now you must have seen small nodules like this in leguminous plants. These small round structures, you must have seen them in leguminous plants. What are leguminous plants? Pea plants, beans, etc. Payar vargangal, they are the leguminous plants. Now you have already learned that nitrogen gas, even though it is present in large amount in the atmosphere, the plants cannot take them directly. Now there is a bacterium that is called as rhizobium that can take the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into a usable form. But the rhizobium bacterium cannot prepare its own food. So what does it do? It lives in the root of gram, peas and other leguminous plants. It will be living in the roots of these plants, obtain nourishment from these plants. The plants will be providing food and shelter to the bacteria, while the bacteria in return will be providing them with nitrogen. So this is a symbiotic relationship. In symbiotic relationship, both the organisms are getting benefited. While in parasitic relationship, what happens? Only the parasite is getting benefited while it is harmful to the host. Now here in this symbiotic relationship, both the organisms are getting benefited.